Hey, what's up, everybody? Chris here, and I wanted to offer my thoughts on the season 3 finale of The Mandalorian, chapter 24, I think it is, The Return. I loved it. I think it embodies everything about Star Wars that makes me happy, personally. I wouldn't say it's a perfect episode, though, and I'm going to get into spoilers here, so if you haven't yet seen it, you want to check it out, obviously step away, then come back and let me know what you thought about it. But yeah, let's dig into it. Hey, as always, if you're enjoying the content, please do me a favor. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please be sure to click that subscribe button. And as always, I very much appreciate your viewership. So, this season notably has had some ups and downs, but overall, I thought it's been entertaining. I don't know if I would sort of pinpoint a low point maybe in the series, but I think the episode that featured Jack Black, which I guess was the one before the most recent one, not the most recent one being the ending, but you know the one I mean. That one was just, when you've got a really recognizable celebrity, even though Christopher Lloyd was in that, I thought he was great. It was a little bit more of a low-key role. But when you've got a celebrity or two that's included there, it can be a little bit distracting, and I found that to be the case with that episode, but I still liked it overall. I think I'm one of those people who just loves the Star Wars universe so much that even if it's admittedly kind of fluff or filler, I like it because I like the world building. To me, that's one of the things that I love most about Star Wars. And with this final episode of the season, it didn't disappoint. And it actually, to me, felt almost like a series finale, especially with that final shot where things kind of zoom in on Din Djarin and Din Grogu now, who's got the new moniker because he is an apprentice of Din Djarin. But it felt like an end to the whole series. I did read online before I recorded this review that they are planning to make a 4th season. They set up a little bit of that when Din is talking with the rebel pilot and kind of talking about, tracking down remnants of the Empire that might be on the Outer Rim and how they're understaffed and they need his help, that kind of thing. So clearly kind of tracking more in the direction of him returning to bounty hunter territory, which I kind of like. I mean, I think that this season did a great job of sort of ending the Mandalore timeline and storyline. With getting them back into Mandalore, returning the planet to its rightful owners and all of that. So that was great, but I like that they're potentially going to head in a more kind of traditional trajectory, at least with the first season or two, with what we're going to get with season 4. Now, in terms of how this wraps up, right, so Moff Gideon apparently is dead. He's been consumed by fire. And so we get some interesting tidbits in this episode where you see that the whole reason he was going after Grogu to begin with is he wanted his, I guess, midichlorians. He never uses that word, but his force ability. So he had a geneticist working on it, the same one that we see referenced in Coruscant in an episode earlier this season, but he was creating clones of himself and injecting those clones with force abilities, or giving them force abilities, imbuing them with that. So he was attempting to create sort of a strike force, or even a small kind of battalion or army, I guess, that would be unstoppable, as he describes it. And so, of course, we get an inevitable showdown between Din Djarin, who escapes, his initial capture at the end of the penultimate episode. Really cool how that plays out, and it's good to see him kind of take charge of things and to sort of jump on top of the enemies, right at the start of this episode, with a little bit of help from Grogu, of course. But we get that final showdown. Bo-Katan joins the fray. And so does Grogu, right? Using the Force to kind of disarm Moff Gideon and to put him in a vulnerable position. And it was really cool where you see this kind of captured Star Destroyer, or I can't remember exactly what model the ship is. Some kind of Star Destroyer-esque ship crashing into Mandalore, crashing into the place where this battle is happening. And basically this huge fireball erupts. And then, of course, Grogu is using the Force to kind of protect them from everything going on. I loved it. I would say that I felt like it was a really almost too quick wrap up to all of this stuff that's been building up, honestly, over the course of 3 seasons. But I don't know. And I guess you can't really say definitively that Moff Gideon is dead. I mean, we see him standing there being consumed by fire, but I thought that his Beskar armor was going to protect him from that, or maybe it did. Maybe we'll see an Anakin-ish version of him sort of emerge. Maybe we'll learn that he injected himself with midichlorians somehow. Maybe he finally does have force abilities, and maybe he's going to be a Vader-type character moving forward. I doubt that. I mean, it seemed pretty definitive that he was dead as a result of what happened, but it was a little bit unclear, 100%. But I still ultimately like the way it played out, even though, again, it did feel a little bit tidy, and really, honestly, as I mentioned just a moment ago, kind of conclusive. I'll be interested to see how much deeper they go into things with the 4th season. Maybe that's where there's going to be some overlap with Ahsoka, the idea of Thrawn being present in this universe, all of that, so we'll see. But overall, I thought this was a great finale. And again, the space battles, the hand-to-hand combat, the blasters, the Mandalorians, just everything about Star Wars, the fun, the drama, the music, everything I loved about it was present in this episode, so I really adored it. If you saw it, let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm way off base with my assessment of this? As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll check back in soon.